welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And today we come to yet another end to another series. This being the last installment for Neon Genesis Evangelion, The Spire's Thesis. What if Shinji Ikari was Spider-Man Part 10? With this marks the end of this series in the Anime X Marvel Spider-Verse saga. And surprisingly enough, I did not think this series was going to get the amount of love and support that it got. But it's been one of the more popular series that I've had here on the channel. So the fact that you guys turn up for the Evangelion content, it truly means a lot to me. So thank you all for enjoying this series. I've had a lot of fun writing it. As you know, Evangelion is one of my favorite animes of all time. So, whenever I get a chance to do an Eva series, it gives me an opportunity to rewatch the show, to write the script, and I just get to enjoy it all over again. So thank you guys for enjoying this series, for being a part of it. I've had a lot of fun writing it, and you never know, I might come back and do more with this universe in the future. There's a lot of stuff that can play into it. And I have something special for the very end. So make sure you watch the very end, and that'll let me know if you guys want to see this in the future. But anyway, let's get into today's video. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Shinji's alive? Asuka, Penny, everyone would all have said at the same time. And Kaoru's an angel, Misato would say. Where is he? We have to. Shinji's taking care of it, Kaji would tell them. What do you mean? Asuka would ask, worried, ready to go and join Shinji to help him. He wants to take on Kaoru by himself. We have to stay focused because we have more pressing matters to deal with. Seilei is going to be sending the Japanese Strategic Self-Defense Force at any time now, along with an armada of mass-produced Evangelions. Wait, they have that? Ritsuko would say. From my calculations, they're going to be sending units 5 to 13. They'll be arriving here shortly. I'd say once Kaoru is defeated, the final angel, Seilei and Gendo's partnership will abruptly come to an end. We need to make sure that Rei stays out of his clutches by any means. Why Rei? Misato would ask. Rei is the key to human instrumentality. She is the key to third impact. I hate to spring this on you, but I think I know, Rei would say. It's why my clones, why I was created. And now that all of the clones have been destroyed, you are the final one, meaning that he's going to be gunning after you with everything he's got. Should we try to use the other Evangelion? Misato would say. Perhaps, although I think Unit 1 will be out of our control. In the meantime, among the rebel and destruction that lied in the wake of the last angel attack, 2 Spider-Men engaged in battle. One clad in red and blue, the other one a stoic black. As they engaged in the fight, they found themselves to be even in terms of their strength, their speed, and their striking power. I must say, for a human, you are able to match my power well. You truly have inherited the blessing of the angels. Thanks. I try my best. Oh, I see. I've been watching you for a while now. Really? And what do you think? Shinji would say as he threw a roundhouse kick to his head, only to be met with a punch to the gut as they both were sent in the opposite directions. I think you're truly fascinating. You're not like any other human I've ever met before. You don't seem so bad compared to the other ones. What made you like this? Nothing really. This has just been my purpose ever since I came here. If you're an angel, then why would you follow the orders of Sele? Why do as you're commanded? You're above them, aren't you? They share the same likeness to us. They are of the ideal that humanity can never be left on its own accord. Human instrumentality or destruction. Those are the only two choices. They both sound the same to me, but they're not. For all souls on the earth to be united together, no more war, no more crime, no more bloodshed. Everyone can live in their own paradise, exactly the way they want it. Shinji would cock his head to the side. If he didn't know any better, he could have sworn he had read something in a manga about somebody that wanted to do something like that, trapping everyone in a dream. Oh well, guess the villains just ran out of original material, he guessed. But still, everyone's not going to be able to accept that. That's just not how the world works. Oh, really? And just tell, how do you think the world works? Shinji Ikari, a boy who was abandoned by his father in his time of need. A world that's never cared or loved you. The world has done nothing but chew you up and spit you out time and time again, and yet you continue to fight for it. I can see why she chose you among all of the other spiders. You embody her illogical thinking and philosophy to continue to fight for others that don't care about you. Does that make any sense? I know, it seems stupid for humans to fight, especially for things that make no real sense at all. It's just a part of what and who we are. You know, if you and I had met a long time ago, I would have agreed with you. Your logic, it all makes perfect sense. My life hasn't been perfect. I lost my mother when I was young. My father, when I needed him the most, abandoned me. He left me behind. He only called me back because he wanted to use me for his own ends and goals. Truthfully, any love he had towards me, it was superficial and artificial at best, or just a complete lie. In all honesty, he probably didn't even need me. I was just the most suitable for his plans. He probably could have used anyone. But you know, despite all of that, despite everything, I don't regret not a single moment of it. It's led me here. I've made true, real friends. People that I actually love and care for. I can actually say that, you know? Shinji would say as he continued fighting. I can actually say that I love people. I can actually feel it. It doesn't feel forced. I don't feel like I have to be something that I'm not. I can say that I love them. Even when we fight, even when we argue, even if we hurt each other, I can still say I love them. And because I love them, it's why I'm willing to fight for them and for my world. So no, I reject human instrumentality. I reject what my father wants and what the angels want. This is my world, and I'm going to protect it by any means necessary. Which means I'm going to kill you. Your determination, it is admirable. Foolishly misplaced, but admirable. Although, I don't think we'll get anywhere with the fisticuffs the way they are now. From under the ground, a large hatch would open as Eva Unit 1 would emerge, much to Gendo's dismay, as he had not ordered for the Eva to even be launched, as Karo would now merge with the Eva. I'm sorry, Miss Yui Ikari. But I'm going to have to take possession of this Evangelion. Now, if you're going to stop me, this is your only chance. Shinji would jump as high into the air as he could, as a light began to glow around him. Immediately, the light would shine brightly, as the glow would continue to grow in size, until the glowing light was the same size of the Evangelion that stood against it. As the light dissipated, what stood before Eva Unit 1 was a warrior long since forgotten. Karo couldn't help but chuckle. They kept you hidden from us from all this time. I must say, I never thought that I'd get the pleasure of doing battle with the great Leo Pardon, the Angel Slayer. All right, it's time to end this. Eva Unit 1 and Leo Pardon would now clash, the two titans standing over Tokyo 3. Off in the distance, not only had Seilei's forces begun their conversions, but now the group of mass-produced Evas were set to join in the fight, standing behind Eva Unit 1. This is where you meet your end. It was an honor to do battle with you, Shinji Ikari. But now, it is finished. Even with the power of Leo Pardon, you cannot match all of us. You are alone. And what makes you so sure of that? Standing behind Leo Pardon, Eva Unit 0, Eva Unit 2, Eva Unit 3, and Eva Unit 4. Rei Ayanami, Asuka Langley Soryu, Toji Suzuhara, and Penny Parker. Guys, he didn't think we were just going to leave all the fighting to you, huh, Shin Man? Toji would say. These bastards have been the ones that's been destroying my world for the last 15 years. You know, my sister almost died because of you bastards. I've kind of been letting that stew inside of me for a while now, and I get to take it out in your ugly face. As hot-headed as ever, Karo would say to Toji. And we're not alone. High in the sky, flying a specially made jet plane, firing off the latest of ammunition and machinery. Kensuke? Shinji would say. Sup, guys? I told you that I'd always get to fly one of these things. What are you just waiting for? Let's finish this! With that, the great battle would finally occur. Eva Unit 1, led by Karo, along with the other mass-produced Evangelion, against Leo Pardon and the 4 remaining Evas. Safe to say, Tokyo 3, the city that had now been hidden underground, became nothing more but a barren battlefield. The mass-produced Evangelion were not ones to be taken lightly, nor were they so easily disposable. Their strength and power were able to match the Evas quite handily, and Leo Pardon had his hands full fighting against Eva Unit 1. One way or another, you're going to come out of there, Karo. You wish to save your mother. But do you know, I do. She wanted to create the Eva, to create something that would last on forever. I can't say I fully understand why she wanted to do what she did, but if I know one thing, I know she wouldn't want any of this. You are very confident of yourself, Ikari. You are just like your father. I'm nothing like him. There's no point in denying it. You may not share the same goals, but the tenacity, the will to never give up, the ability to see things through till the end, no matter how far you have to sink yourself. You and him are a lot alike. In the meantime, Nerve was being evacuated. The Japanese Strategic Self-Defense Force troops were arriving, along with the Nerve troops. Safe to say, the headquarters soon turned into a gun range, a shootout of massive proportions. Gendo Ikari made his way through the secret passages, eventually finding the chamber where the other Reis were. He had his gun in hand, but he wasn't the only one with a gun, Masato being there also. Captain Katsuragi, former captain. I take this as your form of resignation? Dr. Ritsuko? Kaji. Ah, yes. The famed musketeers. I guess there's no point in pleasantries or pretending. You all know the truth. Or maybe you've always known. I kept you three on a tight leash, at least I thought I did. Your mind, your intellect, your ability, they were all greatly appreciated for my cause. But now it seems as though I've let you run wild for a bit too long. Well, you know what they say about dogs and leashes, Kaji would say. Always with a quick wit of the tongue, eh, Mr. Kaji? But this changes nothing. You're not the only one with a gun, Gendo, Misato would say. And you think killing me now is going to stop any of this? The sky has already begun to darken. The stars now fall from the heavens. The beginning of third impact is upon us. You need my intellect in order for us to survive. Fat chance, Ritsuko would say. Is that jealousy I hear in your voice? No, clarity, Ritsuko would say. Are you trying to be altruistic? Are you looking to be the hero in your last moments? Oh, please. Your sins are just as great as mine. You and your mother, two foolish, foolish women. I must say, for those who profess to believe in the sciences and in the facts, you are both truly gullible and pathetic. All it took was a night of courtesy in order to get you to do anything I wanted. Is this your way of trying to blackmail and shame me? Ritsuko would say, as she stepped closer to Gendo, who kept his gun fixed on her and Masato fixed on him. You have no power over me, Gendo. I know you like to think of yourself as being the smartest man in the room, but truthfully, you are pathetic in every way, shape, and form. I would watch your... or what? I welcome death. I may get to hell first, but don't worry. I'll have a seat, especially waiting for you. In the grand scheme of things, Gendo, you are nothing. You are weak, pathetic, simple-minded, and a fool of the highest order. Make no mistakes about it. It was Yui who was truly a part of all of this, not you. You were nothing more but a love-struck puppy who couldn't get over the fact that his precious owner died. Do you think that any of this has happened because of you? No, you just allocated resources that were given to you that you didn't even deserve. Truthfully, the only reason why you had me and my mother around was because you were too incompetent to run any of this yourself. You are not a respected man of science or of honor. You are nothing more but a weak-minded, pathetic fool who spent his college years getting into bar fights and had to be bailed out by his vice commander. Gendo would start to grimace. Aw, What's the matter? You sit on a high desk, hiding behind those stupid glasses, all in an attempt to act higher than you truly are. You're Icarus, and you flew too close to the sun, and now you're being burned by your own son, no less. A young man whom you abandoned and left to the wolves. Not only did you fail as a husband, you failed as a father. And what's more, that son that you left behind, the one that you considered weak and pathetic and not worth an ounce of your attention, is the one that's going to save the world and humanity. Face it, even while being the absolute worst, the son that you looked down and called pathetic ended up being greater of a man than you can ever be. As Ritsuko walked closer, Gendo, he started to sweat, his hand starting to tremble. And I know, deep down, the biggest secret, the thing that keeps you up at night, what truly shows how weak and worthless you are, you were jealous of your own son because he also shared the love of Yui. And you want to know what? Yui loved Shinji more than she loved you. At that word, Gendo would take a shot at Ritsuko, hitting her in the shoulder. In that moment, Masayo would shoot multiple shots at Gendo, causing him to fall to the ground, the gun falling out of his hand, as Kaji checked on Ritsuko and Masayo stood over him. You sucked in bed, Gendo would say, almost as if it were a pitiful act, a way to show spite in the face of defeat. In the meantime, on the outside, as fighter jets and planes from the JSSDF continued flying high, Kinsuke, despite his youth, would show that he knew a lot more about fighter jets than people gave him props. As he kept them at bay, allowing for his friends to deal with the Evangelion, Shinji would find himself standing in the midst of the chaos, the destruction that brewed all around them. Eva Unit 1, Leo Pardon, the two titans coming and trading blows with both of them, exchanging in the ultimate display of power. It seems we've come to the end of our time, Karo would say. Damn it. It seems it's starting to reject me. I can't stay in here any longer. Oh well. It was fun while it lasted. Eva Unit 1 would fall to the ground, as Karo would be ejected from it. The small Spider-Man now floating high in the sky, the tattered clothing of red and blue. He would find himself grasped in the hands of Leo Pardon, Shinji ready to finish it. I am sorry, Shinji would say. I'm sorry that it had to be this way, that it came to this. I know you are. And that is why you truly have my respects. The bracelet would fly off of Karuo's hand as it landed on top of the head of Leo Pardon, the clothing of Spider-Man fading from his body. You are the one and only Spider-Man. Shinji Ikari. With a final crush, Karo would be defeated. The other Evangelions had all been strucken down. Shinji would move to the head of his new giant mech, as he reached for the bandlet, wrapping it around his wrist and transforming. The black suit that he wore would now be covered in a freshly made red and blue. This, Shinji would say, this feels so much better. It seemed as though everything was done. The battle was over. All of the other Evas destroyed. All of Sele's forces brought to an end. Hey guys, Toji would say, do you think it's... Ooh! Toji! As if suddenly, without any warning, the fist of Eva Unit 1 had punched through the back and through the front of Eva Unit 3. Toji was now starting to go offline as Eva Unit 3 fell to the ground. Toji! Shinji would say, as he now got back into the cockpit of Leo Pardon. How is this even happening? He knows he killed Shinji. Father? Gendo Ikari had somehow managed to crawl his way. He had managed to get to the body, to the Eva. He crawled inside. As he took off the glove on his left hand, revealing a scarred and emulsified hand with an eye in the palm. His body had now begun to merge with the Eva. He was becoming one with it. Father, this has to... I am not your father. I am nothing to you, Shinji. Just as you are nothing to me. What are you doing? Get out of... She belongs to me. She loved me first, damn it. Not you. My God, how pathetic can you be? Is this what all of this is about? You were jealous of me? Because of... Shinji just shook his head. He knew what he had to do. The others were standing, ready to fight with Shinji, but he would tell them no. Guys, get Toji to the medical bay immediately. He can still be saved. But what about you? Asuka would ask. We're not going to leave you alone. Not with him, Penny would say angrily. Rei, Gendo. No. Rei would stand with her friends. I won't. So he's turned even you against me. Fine then. You were nothing but a clone anyways. Guys, get out of here. I'll deal with him. The fight now resumed between Eva Unit 1 and Leo Pardon. Now this time with Gendo in control. The punches were not filled with any righteousness. Only hatred, fury, jealousy. The vitriol. Father and son, now both standing before one another. The lights that now lined over the planet. The halo of sorts that shined above them. This was humanity's final test, the final struggle, if you will. From this battle, one of two things would occur. Human instrumentality or mankind's salvation. I've wanted to do this, Gendo would say. For so long. I hated you. I hated you from the day that you were conceived. The day that you were born. I couldn't stand the sight of you. I couldn't stand the sight of your face. You think you're the only one? Shinji would say. I hated the way you acted. The way you always tried to stand over me, acting like you were the bigger man. You were weak. You were useless. You think I ever needed you as a father? Huh? My first day of school, I didn't need you. Shinji would throw a punch. When I fell down off of riding my first bike, I didn't need you then. I didn't need you when I got my first fight. I didn't need you. I didn't need you those nights when I was scared, when I was alone. I didn't need you to teach me anything. One way or another, I will never be like you. I don't need you to teach me how to be a man. I don't need you to teach me how to be a father. To hell with you! Shinji would continue to punch Eva Unit 1 over and over again. The only thing that I regret is the fact that my mother wasted her life dealing with a pathetic bastard like you! Leo Pardon now stood over Eva Unit 1 as it rained down punch after punch after punch. Get out! Get out! Get out! He would rip inside of the head of Eva Unit 1, pulling its skull almost in half. As he reached further, he would look for the entry plug where he knew Gendo was, only for the Eva's head to regrow itself as it kicked him back. Eva Unit 1 would reach its hand into the sky, as light would begin to form in the palm of his hand, taking the form of the spear of Longinus. He would throw it, stabbing Leo Pardon in the shoulder, Shinji being connected to the giant robot. He would feel the pain and even further anguish as the arm was ripped off, the shoulder blade being pulled out of the socket. Well, let me free you from your burden. You're dead to me, Shinji. He would grasp both his hands around the throat of Leo Pardon. Shinji could feel the air being suffocated from his lungs as he reached his hand up. Die. Just die. Just die. Just die and be... Gendo could slowly feel himself losing control. In that moment, for both Shinji and for Gendo, they would both see a silhouette. The silhouette of a woman. Gendo... Yui? Gendo stopped what he was doing. In this astral plane of sorts, he found himself walking to the light, reaching out for her. Yui, please. It's over. You and I can be... But she did not respond. No matter how close Gendo tried to get, she would not turn to him. She would not acknowledge him. She did not recognize his presence. Yui, I did all of this. I did all of this for you. You don't understand, Gendo. I gave you a part of me. A part of me that would always live on. And you rejected me. Rejected you. I didn't reject you. I did all of this because I loved you. You rejected me, Gendo. So now I reject you. What? Goodbye. In the meantime, Shinji found himself in the embrace of his mother. I wanted to make something that would live on forever. Something that could survive beyond time and space. When mankind was long since nothing more but a memory. I wanted this to be my legacy. To be something that could be preserved. Something that could live on for all eternity. But I see now that I already made that in you. Take care of yourself, Shinji. I love you. Shinji would awaken, with the hands of Eva Unit 1 around the throats of Leo Pardon. Shinji, with his one free arm, would deliver a final punch. He aimed it directly towards the head of Eva Unit 1, his fist coming out on the other side of the skull. Eva Unit 1's grip would start to fade. It would start to grow, as if it was going to blow up. Shinji would get as far away as he could, as Eva Unit 1 ascended high into the sky above. A convergence of sorts, as if a legion of angels aligned it. An unrecognizable song. The world was now being pulled and vexed. What's happening? An orange glow would now emanate over the world. Oh no, what have I? It is all right, Ikari. Who said that? The one that chose you. Garia? What's happening? I thought I stopped. It is third impact. But I beat him. I didn't want it. It is not your fault, Shinji. This is what must occur. Right now, humanity is being given a simple choice. They can either join as one and ascend to the higher realm, or they can stay. There is no destruction. You have already made your choice, and so have your friends. So there is no need to even give you the option. You already made your answer. But for millions around the world, there are those who all want to make that choice. To continue on with life's anxieties, with the pains and the anguish that come from that. Shinji would begin to see visions. The visions of the world, of everyone and everything, of his own life, his struggles, his highs, his lows. Shinji began to see things that he thought he could never see. Shinji saw a version of himself that wasn't Spider-Man. A version of himself that only cried. A version of himself that he didn't recognize. This is what Shinji could have been, what Shinji honestly should have been. The Shinji that you all know. The one that was indecisive, the boy that could never make up his mind, the boy that did everything for the validation of others. This is what Shinji was supposed to be. It's what he is known for. For you all, it's what you recognize Shinji as. But through this series of events, through this whole story, Shinji had become something else. He rejected what he could have been, and he became something better. As such, Shinji, he had made his choice. The ocean had now turned into LCL, an orange liquid of sorts. Leopardon found itself resting on the beach of Tokyo 3. Shinji, in the meantime, his left arm feeling like complete hell, but it would heal. He sat on the beach, looking as the sun began to set. As for everyone else, what did they see in their moments? There are two particular experiences. First, there was Asuka. For her, she saw the soul of her mother, the soul that had been trapped in her Eva. The mother and daughter had reconciled, Asuka gaining the closure that she needed. And then there was Penny. In the astral plane, what was the soul that had been inside of her Evangelion? Dad? Hey there, Peanut. Professor Peter B. Parker, originally a part of the Nerve Scientific Division in the United States. He met a woman in Japan, fell in love, had a daughter. That daughter would go on to be Penny Parker. It was when Penny was at a young age, similar to Shinji, that her father tragically passed away during one of the Evangelion testing experiments, with his soul being the one that was trapped inside of Eva Unit 4. Dad, you know, I'm so proud of you. I've been watching over you for so long. You became an amazing hero. Dad, I miss you so much. You and Mom. I'm so sorry. I could have been a better father to you. After your mother died, I left you with Aunt May and Uncle Ben. I just left you to do my work, thinking I would make a better world for you, so you wouldn't have to go through what I went through. I'm so sorry. It's okay. You know, I loved being with Aunt and Uncle. They taught me a lot. After all, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. I know. And you've used the power wisely. It's why she chose you among all of the others. I don't want you to go. I'm never going to be gone, Penny. The greatest thing I ever did in my life was being a father to you. Even if it was only for a short time. It's one of the greatest privileges I could ever have. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. No matter what happens, I'm never gone. Peter would point to her heart. Because you exist, I will always be here. And I will always love you. With that, Penny would awaken. She had survived Third Impact, and her choice was made. This was where she wanted to be. On the beach where Shinji reclined, he would be joined by his friends. Everyone gathered together. Penny, Asuka, Rei, Toji, Kensuke, all of them happy to have survived. and that they would get to see another tomorrow together. Many rejected Third Impact. Slowly, humanity would begin to return, and they would begin to rebuild from the ashes of their darkest hour. Nerve was officially disbanded, the world governments deciding to take power back into their own hands. An unusual era of peace was now starting to be ushered in. When you go through something like Third Impact, things like war and petty squabbles, well, they suddenly don't become as big of a priority as they used to be. Ritsuko would recover also, deciding she was going to step away from the science field. Instead, she chose to work in a hospital. She wanted to put her expertise to use in helping others in a truly meaningful way, and thus the Tokyo 3 hospital would be established with Dr. Ritsuko overseeing its provisions. Masayo and Kaji would finally get married. It would be a nice wedding ceremony. Everyone there enjoying the festivities among their friends and other compatriots. There was laughter, dancing, all into the wee hours of the night. Eventually, though, Shinji found himself in that same area, looking over the city as the sun began to set, the lights beginning to flicker on. But he wasn't alone. Asuka was there with him also. So, Spider-Man, what are you gonna do now? You know, I honestly hadn't thought about it yet. I always thought superheroes can be anywhere. I mean, Germany could use a Spider-Man. It most certainly can. But I'm in no rush to go back. Maybe in the springtime. I'd love for you to see the meadows. Really, it'd be beautiful. As they leaned in for a kiss, Asuka would just as quickly throw him over her shoulders. What was that for? Oh, you don't think I'm just going to give out my love all free willy-nilly? No, Mr. Ikari. You have to earn that. Is that so? The two of them would transform. Spider-Man and Arachne. You know, you still haven't beat me yet. I let you win, Shinji would say. That's what you tell yourself. As they engaged in a flurry of combat, they found themselves perfectly even, perfectly matched. You could say that their synchronization was at an all-time high. Eventually, though, it ended with Shinji pinning Asuka with her arms held over her head against a tree. You give up? Asuka would then give Shinji the kiss he had always wanted. It was a kiss of passion, coarse, a little rough. There was perfection in its imperfection. And just as quickly, she wrapped her legs around his waist before flipping him over in a sunset flip, landing him on the ground with her on top once again. I give up. Really? Are you two lovers done flirting? Penny would say, as she had been standing in the distance next to the spider-mech. Spider. The two would instantly turn bright red, Shinji being hidden underneath his red mask, but even still, it was almost as if the blush was just going through even that shade of red. I thought we were alone, you idiot! Shinji would then find himself being pushed to the ground as he got back up, bickering with Asuka once more. Penny couldn't help but laugh, and Ray also, as she emerged from the tree lines as well, and Toji also. "How are we looking, Kensuke?" Penny would ask. Kensuke sitting inside of an office, as he had taken up being a man in the chair, so to speak, for his friends, basically overwatching the city and telling them of any activity that might be happening. "Everything's looking clear in the ways, though. You guys can take the night off if you want." "That's great, because I did not feel like going on patrol tonight," Toji would say. "I've been meaning to try that new ramen joint down the road. You guys want to go?" "Ramen?" Kensuke would say. "Hold on, I'll meet you guys there." Kensuke was now heading out of the office for the night, ready to meet up with his friends, as it looked like ramen was on the menu. Of course, Misato and Kaji, they had gotten a lot of perks. You know, between saving the world and having a nice pension, you can buy a pretty nice penthouse here in Tokyo 3. Enough room and space for them and for all of the little spiders to nest together. Of course, things don't always go the way you plan. As the 5 spiders were getting ready to leave, a portal would open. Their spider senses all went off at the same time as they stood on guard, when the first thing to pop out was a round-like mech, blue and red, looked kind of like, if Penny didn't know any better, it looked like the prototype for the spider mech she had made. Granted, what she used now was basically the final product for her design, but in her younger years, she remembered drawing something like this, quite frankly, but who actually made it? "Hi everybody, the name's Mako Mankancho. Nice to meet ya." "Mako Mankancho?" they all said. "Where the hell are we?" one of them would ask as they walked through. "Wait, this looks like Japan," Kazuma would say. "Only a lot more cooler, a lot more teched out." "This is Japan," Peter would say. "Another Japan," Ichiro would say. "It's Spider-Man!" "Spider-Man? It's you're Spider-Man!" Yeah, I'm Spider... And you, the MK1 Spider! Arachne! Spider-Girl! How does he know who we are? "Okay, we're not going through this again. Look," the leader would stand to them, a man dressed in red and black. "My name is..." "Father?" Penny would say. "Oh, God. Okay, I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not your dad. You're my dad! I'm not your dad. Dad! I am not your dad. Daddy? I am not your daddy!" "Who are you and what do you want?" Asuka would say. "Look, this is not going to make any sense. My name is Otto Octavius." "You're not Otto Octavius," Shinji would say. I knew a guy named Octavius, but he was an angel and Okay, look, we're from another dimension. I'm trying to recruit a team and I need you guys to come with me right now." Right now, Toji would say. "Yes, right." Oh, what the hell? With no other choice, Superior Spider-Man would shoot 5 webs at all 5 of the kids, yanking them into the portal as they had to go in a hurry to make their next stop. Safe to say, the journey for Spider-Man never truly ends. Meanwhile, somewhere outside the multiverse. So, let me get this straight. You've been recruiting anomalies from across the multiverse, namely a Spider-Man that got isekai'd, a boy that gained the power of Thor, some samurai kid that got a symbiote, a version of Captain America that can use magic, a ninja boy who became Sorcerer Supreme. Let me see. Is there anyone else I'm missing? Oh yeah, a pervert that became the embodiment to the spirit of vengeance. You ragtagged everyone together, got involved in other universes. You trained a kid. I don't know why you did that. I needed allies. And besides, everyone can benefit from my form of training. You're Loki. Okay. So that aside, you teamed up all these people together. You went and fought against the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. You stopped her from using the Darkhold, and you somehow saved the multiverse? That about sums it up. Okay. And now you're saying that this Kang guy, he's going around destroying the timeline and nothing that happened here was real. More or less. Okay. First off, don't go around multiverses making a multiverse Avengers team, I guess. Yeah, because you've broken so many laws by doing this. Hold on, wait a second. This Iron Man boy, his name's Izuku Midoriya. Okay, so now you're just pulling anyone out your ass, huh? Because, again, not everyone has to be Tony Stark to be Iron Man. Okay, whatever. Anyway, don't do this again. And, we're gonna... You are a piece of work. Yeah, but who's that guy? Loki would say, pointing to a cell. Oh, him? Oh, he's just the newest piece of work. Apparently, he tried to gather a bunch of angels together to cause the end of the world, but yada yada, science, magic, all that good stuff. Ended up making like a universal portal or whatnot, blew himself sky high, found himself in another multiverse and stuff. We arrested him shortly after. We want to send him back, but he'll probably just cause more chaos. So for now, we're just keeping him here. Hey, you awake? Prisoner number 3.0 plus 1.01, aka Gendo Ikari. Rise and shine. This concludes Neon Genesis Evangelion, The Spire's Thesis, What If Shinji Ikari Was Spider-Man, Part 10. Thank you all for watching and for enjoying this series from start to finish. Thank you for being a part of this experience. Like I always say, I can't do it without you. You make the channel grow, you make the core grow. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue with another Jujutsu Kaisen The Spire's Curse special, Jujutsu Kaisen The Spire's Curse Movie 0 Maximum Curse. What if Yuta was Venom? But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with Power Core Productions and Podcastings. Thank you all for watching, signing off, and I'll see you next time.